I need my emotional support pug for this. Yeah, right. Hi, I'm Marshmallow Bat, and this is Jalisco. And we're here to tell you that title is not a lie. I have to make an entire Rosalina cosplay in less than 30 days. This is a video series that'll be documenting my progress and how far I've come along. And usually when I take on big endeavors like this, I push and wait till the last minute and I make it in under 2 days, which doesn't show off my best work. So this time around, I wanted to really make sure that I was presenting something that I could be truly proud of. So the first part of this journey, of course, is I had to know the character. So I will be cosplaying Princess Rosalina from Mario. I am doing this with two of my other friends as they are cosplaying Peach and Daisy. So we're all kind of like playing off of each other a little bit, I would say. And I'm just trying to make sure that I, first of all, show a cosplay I'm proud of and comfortable wearing, but also looks really nice next to theirs. So I have to make sure that my Rosalina matches their aesthetics. So these are the aesthetics that Cynthia Eve and Cheddar Moth are working with. As you can see, Cynthia is still working on hers, and Cheddar Moth has a completed cosplay, but she's enhancing it and making it even better than before. So I'm trying to meet like their aesthetic and make it look like we all came from the same Mario world. So after that, of course, I had to look at ideas of what I wanted to do. So after looking at Princess Rosalina, she has a very sleek silhouette, very simple. So I wanted to keep that A-line, the bell sleeves, the blues, the stars. So I looked on Pinterest and found a lot of these pictures that helped me out a lot to really understand what I wanted to do. In fact, one of the pictures on here ended up being the pattern that I bought from Joann's, which is pattern B4571 from Butterick. With this pattern, I will have to alter it to my needs because they don't carry it in my size, unfortunately. And at the same time, it is all one single layer when I wanted to have my dress be layered. So it flowed a little differently, it moved a little differently. And that's really where it all began, is coming up with a concept. I then later on went out and bought my fabric. Let's ooh and ah this lovely fabric I picked up from Joann's. My favorite has to be the Galaxy pattern that I found. It'll make a lovely overskirt and sleeves. The main fabric I'll be working with for my Rosalina cosplay is going to be this poly satin light blue that I think matches her dress quite well in my opinion. I do wash, or tend to wash, all of my fabrics before I use them. It just helps me make sure I know how to clean them once I make it into a garment. So when I did my research on how to clean poly satin, it said to do it on a cold and a delicate cycle. I did have a little bit of an issue trying to find the delicate cycle because I was filming, so bear with me. There we go, I found it. Good job. Alright, making sure it's on that cold water, and we'll get back to it. Can't put satin in the dryer or I was too scared to, so here is 5 5/8 blue poly satin drying in our guest bathroom. Okay, so first things first, I want a cloth petticoat to go over my hoop skirt to kind of cover up where you can see the boning inside hoop skirt. I took 2 of the measurements, and the next measurement I have to take is the widest part of the skirt, so I'm about to go and struggle and do that. Off screen, I took the measurements of my hoop skirt. That widest part of my hoop skirt is the bottom hoop, which is roughly about 108 inches. The petticoat measurements that I took is I want the waist to top of flounce to be about 26 inches and the actual flounce part itself to be 12 inches. I already subtracted my lace amount since I will be putting a lace trim on the hem of this petticoat just to give it that extra princessy feel. So here I am watching Kirilee Cosplay's tutorial how to make a simple long petticoat. I will be linking that in the description below because she does a much better job at explaining everything. I just got confused a lot while watching it just because myself personally, it took me a second to really digest what she was saying. She does a lovely job explaining it, and once my brain caught up with it, I was like, wow, this is amazing. This is exactly what I need to do. So I would highly recommend going and watching her video on how to make the petticoat. But here I am just kind of on the ground figuring out how I'm going to make this work. So I don't have any color chalk, like sewing chalk to mark where you need to cut stuff. It's my bad on my part. I have a pencil washes out. Sometimes I'll use like a Sharpie, but and I know this is going under and I could still use that Sharpie, but I'm wanting something that will easily wash out, just so I can still have a nice white petticoat for other uses. So I'm gonna try crayons. So I just have some Crayola crayons here. I'm gonna pick a nice bright color, and I'm gonna go with blue, because you know, Rosalina. So we're gonna see if this blue works. Success. Okay. I am now going to go along this edge I've pinned. I was originally going to do 26 and then have my flounce be what touches the floor, but I want to go a little further down. It'll probably hit about mid bottom ring. So I'm doing 30, but I'm giving myself 3 inches to make a waistband. So it should end about 29-ish inches. But yeah, I'm now going to go through and just kind of slowly make my way down with the marker and measuring and pins. So like that, a lovely blue line. Ooh, look at how pretty. I now have to go through and snip, snip, snip this entire blue line and keep it as straight as possible. And you can already see way the hell down there. Way down there. I fucked up a little bit. Hopefully that doesn't fuck up the entire thing. So, you know, let's see what happens. So here is me with that upper portion completely cut out and pinned to where I need to sew it together. So I'm just putting it through my sewing machine. And this is literal moments before disaster, as you will soon see later on in the video. Not to spoil anything, but she is ignorant to what's about to happen to that machine. Anyway, I'm just going through, doing a simple straight line. And the next part I will be working on is the flounce itself, which that was just interesting to try to figure out. I'll let past Helen explain that. Okay. She has on this petticoat maths. Great. Math was never my strong suit. So 300 centimeters times 3 equals 900 centimeters. I'm not using centimeters, I'm using inches. So we'll just put mine in inches. So I'm guessing, because she didn't explain what measurement, and maybe if I go back I could find it, but I think it's the measurement of how long this was. And I got 5 yards of it. So, but I've taken off at least an inch of that, so it's technically 499 yards. 499. No. Oh my god. I hate math. It took me 10 minutes to do a simple equation. Now to reveal the equation and my shame. All of that confused facial expressions and sped up stuff led to this. So I'm gonna do this a little bit here onto that. Yeah. Mama, you're not helping. I need to work on this. No, no. No, no. Thank you for your help. Mama, I need to cut this, but thank you for helping. And just like that, folks, she has 1, 2, 3 flounces to work with. Now it's just to put them all together and make them flounce. I got this. Look at me, so full of excitement and happiness. Ready to seize the day, seize the moment. And then disaster strikes. So the last you saw of me, I had cut out the 3 flounce strips, and I had noticed something odd with my machine. The stitches along the back, you can kind of, well, you can't really see it, are forming little loops and little things. I mean, it's still sewing, and I think it was, oh, it's just catching the fabric. Like, it's bad, but something happened, and I was like, oh, well, I'll change the needle. Change the needle didn't work. The thread just kept getting cut in the middle of everything, and that's when it wasn't going through the machine properly, so I took that apart, kind of dusted it out, put it back together, wiped down the outside of it, tried again, didn't work, followed that up by taking out the foot press and all the, like, not all the mechanics, but took off the metal guard there, and realized not the foot itself, but the metal bit underneath it, I don't know sewing machine terms, was off its spring or something, because it was not being pushed high enough up to catch the fabric and pull it. Because when your fabric is going through the machine, you have the foot on top, and then you have the little groove teeth things that grab it so that it pushes the fabric through your machine as you press the pedal. My machine wasn't doing that. So I tried manually just picking it up and pushing the mechanic that moved it. I thought that worked, but no, it fell right off again, and now it's not threading properly or moving the fabric, and I didn't even finish one flounce thing. I finished one side of it, couldn't get the other side, and I haven't even started on the other stuff. So I wanted to finish this petticoat tonight just to keep me on a good track, but unfortunately, that is not going to be possible because my machine is no longer working. So I'm going to call some places here and see if there is a location that can fix my sewing machine. This is my main sewing machine. I have a backup one, but it doesn't quite work as well as this one either. So when this one's working at full capacity, the other one doesn't work quite as well as I'd like. So unfortunately, I gotta stop here tonight and hope that tomorrow they can fix it. So, yeah. Fingers crossed that they can fix it and it won't be super expensive to do so. Because I really like this machine. It's my main sewing machine. So, see ya. I just dropped off my sewing machine to get fixed. She said it's probably something wrong with the feet dogs. They don't quite know yet, but the report's been all written up, and she said at least 2 weeks. So I have another sewing machine at home. I'm gonna have to use that, but she said they're also having a quick turnaround rate. But you know, the show must go on, and I have a lot of work to do. So yeah, bye. Date. I got my Singer Simple working. This was the original sewing machine that I learned to sew on, and I got all of the flounces hemmed. So the next thing I gotta do is put them all together and continue watching the steps. I think I just put them all together, gather them, put them on the top of the skirt, gather the top of the skirt, and make the petticoat. And I will be done with one of the many steps of this cosplay. So, see you real soon. Woo! Okay. I have sewn all of the flounce together. I learned how to do a French seam. Game changer. Everything's gonna look so pretty from now on. So now the next step is I am adding lace. So I originally was gonna use some lace already at the house, but I did not have 9 yards of it because that's how long my flounce is before gathering. So I went to Joann's and found this really pretty lace to add at the bottom of it. I just wanted something to I wanted it to be pretty. So I am now going to be doing that for who knows how long. I put my first pin in it. I am currently watching Avatar: The Way of Water to get me through it. And I'll let you know when I'm done. So yeah, wish your girl luck. Bye. 1 hour and 57 minutes later, and she's done. All of the lace has been added on to the 9 yards of flounce. Now I think it's on to the gathering aspect. I'll check the video. I'm tired. My face is really hot for some reason. Let's go. Okay. So, I'm following along with the video, and now I gotta put the gathers in. That took a while for me to pin all the different little sections. And now I have to pin it all together. I think I'll get to that point and then I'm gonna go to bed because the time count is currently 1:42. I finished The Way of Water. I am now moving on to the live action Beauty and the Beast. Ladies and gentlemen, the reveal. Ladies and gentlemen, she's done it. I've completed the petticoat. I think it turned out great. It's really flowy and fluffy and has that beautiful lace trim that I was wanting. The perfect amount of ruffles. I think it'll look great over the hoop skirt. I was originally going to then start on a very thin tulle petticoat to go over it just to give that extra little bit of poof. But I'm concerned about time, so I'm going to start working on the overskirt next. So I am so glad you guys were able to join me on my adventure of learning how to make this petticoat. So I hope that I get a lot of use out of it. I think I will. If not for underskirt purposes, it's just a fun thing to mess around with. So like, I don't know. I feel like I could go running through a forest in this. I don't know. But yeah, see you next one.